And that they that set and enter the doors of the west, and make their revolution by the north, and come out through the eastern doors of the face of heaven. And when the moon rises on the 14th part, appears in heaven, and on the 14th day the moonlight becomes full, which would be a full moon. And the 15th part of light are transferred to her until the 15th day, when her light is full, according to the sign of the year, and she becomes 15 parts, and the moon grows by an additional 14th parts. And as the moon waning decreases on the first day of the 14th parts of her light.
On what day?
The 14th parts of her light. The first day of the 14th part of her light.
First day of the 14th part?
14th part.
Okay.
On the second to the 13th parts of her light. On the third to the 12th. On the 4th to the 11th. And the 5th to the 10th. And on the 6th to the 9th. And on the 7th to the 8th. And the 8th to the 7th. And on the 9th to the 6th, and on the 10th to the 5, and 11th to the 4, and on the 12th to the 3, and the 13th to the 2, and the 14th to the half of the 7th. And all her remaining light disappears wholly on the 15th.
And her remaining light disappear when?
On the 15th.
Read.
And in certain months, the month has 29 days, and once 28. And once 28.
What month? Read that again.
In certain months, the month has 29 days, and once 28.
So once 28, and on certain months 29. Okay.
And Uriel showed me another law. When the light is transferred to the moon, and on which side is transferred to her by the sun. During all the period during which the moon is growing in her light, she is transferring it to herself when opposite to the sun. During 14 days, her light is full in heaven. And when she is ablaze throughout, her light is full in heaven. And on the first day, she is called the new moon.
And on the first day, she is called what?
And on the first day, she is called the new moon.
Hold up, because I just had a little interruption. I want to back it up just a little bit to on the verse 12. Could you really reread that for me? On verse 12, reread that and come back through. And because I want the people to know when her light is fully accomplished. Actually, start at 11 again.
Okay. We're on chapter 78, verse 11. During all the periods during which the moon is growing in her light, she is transferring it to herself when opposite to the sun. During the 14 days, her light is full in heaven. And when she is ablaze throughout, her light is full in heaven. This is verse 12. And on the first day...
And on the first what?
And on the first day, she is called the new moon.
She is called the who?
The new moon.
She is called the black top.
No, she's called the new moon.
She is called the south end.
I think this says new moon right here, brother.
I just want y'all to know she is called the new moon. So on the first day when the light shine upon the crescent of the first day the light shine upon the moon, that's the new moon. That's the first day. Not when the moon is eclipsed. You know, there's a lot of people count the first day when the moon is eclipsed behind the sun. So we needed to verify when is the very first day of the new moon. And they said according to scripture, when the light shines upon her. So I'm assuming that would be that little crescent.
The little crescent. That
crescent that y'all gonna see. If you don't see it's coming right now, bam, it just came up on the editing board. I see that little crescent, well, that's your first day. That's your first day. So now we just want to verify what was the first day of the new moon. Sorry to interrupt you, brother. Go ahead and read.
No problem. We're going to read that one more time for
Yeah, go ahead and read
This is verse 12. And on the first day she is called the new moon. For on that day the light rises on her. She becomes full exactly on the day when the sun sets in the west. And from the east she rises at night. And the moon shines the whole night through until the sun rises over her against her. The moon is seen over against the sun.
Okay.
On the side whence the light of the moon comes out, there again she warms until the light vanishes. All days of the month are at the end, and her sphere is empty, void of light. In 3 months she makes 30 days.
3 months she makes 30 days.
And at her time she makes 3 months of 29 days
so
each.
So another 3 months at 29.
In which she accomplishes her warning in the first period of time. And in the first door of 177 days.
How many days?
177 days.
So is that safe to say maybe like the first 6 months it should be 177 days at 30 days for the first 3 months and 29 for the second 3?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Sound like that to you?
Definitely.
Sound like that to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We on verse 16. And the time of her going out, she appears for 3 months, consisting of 30 days each. And she appears for 3 months, consisting of 29 each. By night, she looks like a man for 20 days each. And by day, she appears like heaven. And there is nothing else in her save her light. In her save light, yeah.
So I just wanted to show that. I wanted to see if we can demonstrate that. Because that's a very important chapter for the moon, because it sounded like to me it was telling us how to actually count the days.
Exactly.
And cameraman, if you will. So it says, let's go into that. I know we got a lot to cover. I just wanted to go back up through the chapter where it starts with it says 15 days and be completely filled. Her light will become full. 14th day, 15th part transfer to the 15th day when her light is accomplished. According to the sign of the year, she becomes 15 parts and the moon grows by additional of 14 parts. Now, the brother just read the whole chapter to you. You can go back. It's also covered in the PDF. What I want to cover is how to count that part. Okay? As you see, we have 2 separate discs that we're going to use as the sun, the moon, okay? And we're going to start them at the 15th part when they're eclipsed together, okay? Now, I think I said this was the sun and this is the moon. So the moon will be behind the sun. Is that what it said?
That's what it says. Yes.
Okay. So now we have an eclipse here. So would it be safe to say that on the first day, that'll be like day 1, where the light shines on the moon? Well, you might can't see. Can we get a zoom in a little more? Okay, you might can't see, but this will be your first crescent. And it should be a picture coming up as well to actually show you the crescent of moon on the first day. But after that, we would say this would be like the second day out.
Second day.
It gets a little bit more fuller. Maybe the third day gets a little bit more fuller. 4th day, 5th day, 6th day, maybe 7th right there at a half moon. Half of a moon. 7th day, 8th day, 9th day, 10th day, 11, 12, maybe 14 at a full moon.
Full moon.
So, and then it said it starts to wane and go back. So that'll be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, maybe 20. I know I'm a little bit off of how my hands are moving, but maybe 21 back at the half moon again. And then maybe 7 more days, we should be right back down there at the crescent, 28, something like that. And then you may have, depending on the month that we in, you may have the 29th and the 30 day, which is signify behind the eclipse. And then your first day, you start all over again at day 1. So I just want to cover that to signify because it's right in the book. So the Most High not only gave you the laws for the sun and the moon, but he also showed you how to count your days from the moon, because we learned from, I believe it was when we covered in Esdras and Psalm, that the moon was the sign for the feast. And I can understand why the moon would be the sign, because if you looked at the sun, you couldn't see it. You go blind? Would it be safe to say you go blind? So therefore, the Most High